writer, podcaster, artist, or indie creator of any kind, you'll know what a struggle it can be to find creative services at an affordable price. And that's where Gig comes in. The global indie group has everything you need under one roof. You can connect with publishers, writers, editors, artists, videographers, musicians, composers, voiceover artists, podcasters, and more.
Hi, I'm Lori Calcaterra, and I'm on Gig.
Hi, this is Ben from Comic Book Squares, and we're on Gig.
This is George Medina, and I'm on Gig.
Hi, I'm Morgan, and I'm on Gig.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Matt, and we're Hops Geek News,
a geek-centric, beer-loving pop culture podcast.
We're on Gig.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Letzi, and I'm on Gig.
Hi, I'm Witty, and I'm on Gig.
We're on Gig.
Head to globalindiegroup.com now and check it out.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. With me is always Johnny C., creator of Sartana, Surrounded by Death and the Pond.
Or Roger
and our
Morocco.
third co-host, Harry G., graphic artist extraordinaire. What's going on?
Let's try and breathe in the fumes. Johnny's fumes. We're wafting up into your panels. Right.
That's great. So how was your weekend? I know Harry was at Rhode Island Comic Con. Johnny, did you do anything exciting this weekend? Or?
It was a pretty low-key weekend since it was my birthday was last Wednesday. So It was just birthday dinner with the family kind of thing, very low-key.
Then you watched Loki?
Did not watch Loki.
Oh, I figured you would keep it low-key.
It was low-key, but not that low-key.
Okay.
And it was just kind of relaxing, which is nice because I've been kind of on the go a lot lately. So just to have a couple weekends off before I have to head back up to Saratoga.
Yeah,
on the 18th.
I got a Kids Con this weekend. Kids Con is this weekend.
Yeah.
So man. I hear you, man. I got a few shows left for the year, like Kids Con, and then the first weekend of December, I think I have a couple shows. I'm doing the CT Collector Con, and then we just got accepted for Start at the Station, which is another offshoot of the Start on the Street.
Right.
Simply do it at I don't know if it's a train station in Worcester. It's like they fill up a train station or something in Worcester.
Well, there is the train station in Worcester that's pretty big. You can see it off of 290. I'm wondering if
it might be that one. I don't know. I won't know until I actually go to it. But yeah,
it's a very picturesque building. They do a lot of filming there. So a couple of movies and TV shows, especially period pieces, film at that location.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try it out, see if it's any good. So
nice.
And Harry, you had the big news this weekend. You were at Rhode Island, right?
Yeah, it's not really that big, but it was more fun than I thought it would be. Oh, what's going on here? Can you see me? No, it was fun. It was just we got there at around. I went. Just Trudeau Barry. We used to work with her at Deluxe.
Yeah. I thought she might have been with you because I saw she posted a picture of. She got a picture with what's the actor?
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam,
from
the guy that plays Jax on
right,
was it
Sons of
Anarchy?
Anarchy, right? I don't know who that is, but I guess the ladies like him. He's a big hit with the ladies.
Yeah.
He was awesome in Pacific Rim.
Yeah, it was great in that movie.
I've never seen that either, but I know like the second she saw that he gets booked or whatever, she bought tickets immediately. It's like, Harry, you got to go. I'm like, all right. So I was on the fence, but like whatever. I figured I haven't gone to a major one in a while, so I figured I'd just see what the haps are, see what's going on.
Was it crowded?
You said it was disorganized, worse than previous years, right?
It was. We got there at around we got there late, just like the crowd, funnel in, so we can get there later and not deal with the crowd and wait in line. But every year it seems to be like snowing or raining. It's like beginning of November, but Saturday was like perfect weather. It was like very nice, so we probably could have got there a little earlier and like waited outside, but. We beat the crowds. We got in, and it was packed. And the worst part of it was the professional photo ops in the upstairs, third floor. It was lawlessness. Yeah,
that show, man.
It's like the Wild Wild West.
I have a video of how it looked, and it was basically like people like the movie It's Wonderful Life when the banks went under, everyone was like standing in the lobby trying to get their money, out of the bank. It's like crap, like a sea of people, and there's like one little like opening, a doorway where you would be funneled in to get your photo op, and it was like so hot. There was no AC where the sea of people was. Until when you got into the photo area, then the AC was on. I guess probably for the celebs, so they wouldn't fry under the lights.
So they wouldn't melt.
Yeah, but who cares about the cattle? Like that's why
people were fanning themselves and like trying to like stay like they're like leaning on each other. It was like so like miserable. And we were there. We waited for 2.5, 3 hours for this picture. That's how crazy.
For the one with Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
2.5 to 3 hours.
I only waited like maybe a half hour tops for my Britt Baker photo at New York Comic Con. I don't do the photos unless it's somebody I really want to meet. You know what I mean?
I'm with you, Johnny. Like, I don't like sitting in those lines for hours and hours. Like, just, I'm not, that's not for me, dude.
I get FOMO from being away from the table. Like, I don't want to miss any sales. I don't want to, like miss any like fans or friends that swing by. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm going to go, it's because I really want to meet that person. You know what I mean? Otherwise I don't want to miss like seeing friends or anything like that.
Right. A third of our time there was wasted, but not wasted, but like spent waiting in line for this.
That's
photo.
the problem with those shows. It's like, all those people waiting in line, they're not on the floor. They're not buying anything. Right. I mean, that's why those celeb shows really are bummers for us creators. You know what I mean? They just don't work. Like
for a while in San Diego, to get priority for tickets for the following year, you had to buy them on site and they would queue up lines, and people were missing like 60% of their convention trying to secure passes for next year's convention. It was such a broken process that they were chasing at that time, and I remember just complaining, just like, and normally I'm not the guy to write the letter, like the standardized letter going, I'm filing a complaint, but like it really was just not a good process to force people.
They should have some kind of system in place where you can sign up for your place in line or something, and then you just show up 10 minutes before you.
We're talking about like when you go to the Cheesecake Factory, they give you the little buzzer thing. You know what I mean? Like buzz you when it's your turn.
Like, and it buzzes like when you're about when the other group is about to go in or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a better way than that, than just having lines.
You got to see this. I'll play that one last because that was the last part of the I went floor by floor. It's two different buildings. One building is the hockey rink. Where you're familiar with that.
I haven't been in a long time, but I remember they had like the hockey rink, and then they had the other area upstairs.
The other building with like 3 levels. Like first level is like celebrities and vendors, and like middle section like more of the same, and then like the last third floor is the photo op area now. So
right.
But
I dislike that show so much.
I know you
for
do.
a lot of reasons.
It
dude.
really
I
is
just-
more heavy on the celebrity thing, you know. So
Yeah.
But
And it's that's not, and it, I mean, they do get good celebrities, you know, like,
oh yeah, I mean, there was some people that I couldn't even find. Like we couldn't find. We looked around for them. Like I mean, Anthony Daniels was there. Anson Mount, the guy who plays Pike on
The
Star
Star
Trek.
Trek guy, yeah.
That guy, Billy West, Brent Spiner, LeVar Burton, Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Who else? Like Brandon Routh. But the bigger name people were in that hockey rink area. And you had to pay for an autograph or get a photo with them. They wouldn't let you in to talk to them. I was like, there was like security. Like I walked into the I crossed the bridge, the fire hazard, bridge.
Fire
Like,
hazard.
Fire hazard bridge.
If there was ever like it's like you were saying earlier, cattle. Like people would go up this ramp that connects the two buildings together. If there's ever a fire emergency, you're dead. If you're caught in that, you'd be like it's like running on the bulls. You'd be like caught in that little hallway.
Well,
It's like
Rhode Island Comic Con has suffered some run-ins with the fire department in the past, in the sense of having too many people there, and it's not uncommon to see fire marshals walking through that show with a clicker, just trying to make sure that the crowds are kind of under control and keeping kind of somewhat of a tally as to what's going on.
Yeah,
maybe I should go as a Fire Marshal Bill next year.
Our good friend R.W. Martin actually did that one year.
Oh yeah, I saw that actually. I saw him as that.
Sometimes I get FOMO when there's a show going on. I gotta admit, when Rhode Island's going on, I feel nothing, man.
Yeah,
I don't have nothing going on in my head. I'm just happy I'm not there because, like,
oh my god,
it is a disaster sometimes, man. That show, God.
And then the guy that was trying to herd the cattle into the photo op area was like yelling on a microphone that was like fading in and out, so you can he was getting angry and like we can't hear you, you sound like you're underwater, like what do you say, like, so it was just like
that whole sketch on Saturday Night Live with the subway guys on the microphone, like
pretty much
it was like understand it,
right.
Oh my god! So did you get any pictures that you could share with us? I'd like to see what you got.
I met 3 of the oldest people that were there. Actually, I think. So I'll show you the videos.
Yeah,
first.
Share your screen when you have the pictures ready to go.
Let me get this.
And while you're doing that, we could say hello.
Say hi to the chat
audience.
while that's coming up. Yep. That way we're not keeping our guests waiting too long.
Yeah, and Amy said, yes, start at the station is at the picturesque white train building you can see off Route 290. I danced there before with my belly dance group. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so that's cool. Ara's with us. What's up, Ara? What's up, buddy?
To see you, kid.
Tony James in the house.
What's up, man?
Evening, fellas. What's up?
His campaign's coming down to the final days.
Yeah, I went online yesterday and finally backed, like the few that I wanted to do. Like I did Nandor's, I did Tony's, and I did and I wanted to get the new Jeff Smith crowdfunder on Kickstarter, where he's collecting all his thorn strips from Bone into a book. A lot of stuff you'd never seen before. So I'm like, I got to get that too. So I ended up getting a nice, it was my birthday a couple weeks ago. And my mother got me like $100 gift card. So I'm like, I'm going to back all these campaigns finally, so that's what I used my money for.
Yeah, there's a lot of campaigns going on right now.
It's ridiculous this time of year.
Fix a pledge on.
Seriously, dude, this is a ridiculous time of year for campaigns. Jeremy Courtney, hey man, what's up?
Jeremy, good to see you, man.
And then Jeremy, the wonders of Rhode Island Comic Con.
Yeah, he knows.
Get that right, brother.
He knows.
And Ara said, hello, all you awesome comics people. What did Tony say here? I waited 2 hours to meet Kevin Conroy at NYCC a few years back. Got a great photo. The wait was brutal. Yeah, I can imagine, but I'm glad you did. Whoever knew he was going to pass away,
Yeah.
Amy said, I got RICC FOMO for the cool people, non-celebs who go. Like the guys from So Wizard Podcast were there, and they'd be cool to see.
Yep, Wayward Raven guys were there. I kind of had FOMO missing out, hanging out with them.
Creators are obviously I'd love to see at any show, so thanks for supporting Star Noir, guys. It really means a lot. Of course, Tony.
Absolutely, man. We hope you nail that goal.
DS Cartoons is with us. What's up, DS? Thanks for joining us. So, Harry, were you able to queue up the photos?
Yeah, is it showing there that I'm showing?
Not yet. You have to share your screen. You have to present, and then
yeah. So let's see here. I'm doing entire screen. Share.
You have to highlight the screen.
Oh, there it is. Oh, okay, here we go. That's what it is.
And then it should show up after you hit present.
Right.
There it is.
All right,
here I'm gonna add it. These are your. So this is the photos.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Because my nephew and I just got done watching the series, so I figured I'd take a picture of her and show him that she was there.
Nice.
So then I was making fun of last week of Bob Uecker being there, like of all people, but I was walking by his table and he's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And he waved me over, so I'm like, "All right, I'll talk to him." I have and he's the fun.
I like Bob Uecker.
Here he is. Like he looks like actually like RoboCop. What's his name?
Bob Eubanks from
Bob
Eubanks. It's like the game show guy, right?
Not Bob Uecker. Bob Eubanks, right? Yeah,
he's the game show guy.
Right. Yeah, he hosted the Newlywed Game and like 5 other game shows, and it was funny because he called me over. Is it in the background? He has like the Beatles there. It's like, do you know that I'm the only living music promoter to have ever signed the Beatles to their first concert tours here in like at the Hollywood Bowl back in 1964. I'm like, no, we didn't even know. We didn't even know
who's up on the history of Bob Eubanks.
I know. We would even know that you were like still alive, or even like a music producer. Like in the front there of this table, you can see in front of this, like he has like a photocopied music promotion of the Beatles. I'm like, okay, we believe you. Like that's pretty cool though. And
it's kind of cool though. He's got that legacy, right?
Yeah. And then I asked him about that. Like, I know I made that joke last week. You guys probably didn't get what I was saying, but so there was a Newlywed Game blooper where he asked one of the wives, like, so where is the weirdest place you and your husband ever made whoopee?
Yeah.
And she says, like, I don't know, in the butt. And they bleeped it out, and I asked him about that. I'm like, so is that? Did you have to bleep it? Like, oh yeah, oh my god. The real story is like she didn't say butt, she said ass. And then later on, we did like a documentary, it's like a movie or something out there, and they were showing that part, and she, as an older woman, wrote in. So it's like, please don't. She was like about to sue the documentary of it, saying like, please don't show that because I'm a grandmother now, and I don't want my grandkids seeing that, So, anyway,
it's too funny.
Euchre, there's Q, John Delancey.
Cool. Yeah,
he's pretty cool. I mean, he completes my my Next Generation, cast. I met pretty much everybody except for like Patrick Stewart.
Nice.
And then this is like this next series is like the weirdest thing. Like John Glover, I had to meet
meet John Glover a few years ago.
All right, he is so. I mean, he's tall. He's like probably like 6'2" or something, So when he stood next to me for our photo, or whatever, I'm like, whoa, do you have like a milk carton I can stand on? Because like I feel pretty short right now. It's like, oh no, I don't have a milk carton, but I can do this. And just all these like weird moves.
He was like that with me. Yeah.
How great is that though? That he's so personable that he'll just get down to your level like that. That's Johnny, that's real sweet of him.
Johnny, you say personable, but this personable where he's like flicking his tongue out, and then he blows into my ear. Watch this.
Yeah, he did some weird shit to me too. Like
what is
oh, that's great.
That's great. He rubs his nipples.
Yeah, he was honestly, Harry, he did some weird shit like that to me when I took a picture.
Oh my god! I mean, he was definitely having fun, and I appreciate that.
He was a really nice guy. Like Amy always thought it was funny that I didn't talk to him about like Smallville or one of his big roles. I talked to him about like Gremlins 2.
Oh yeah, of course. You have to. Okay, so here's can you see this? I don't know if you can see this.
So this is the line of people for.
No, this is like the.
Oh, there you go.
The
play it again.
Rank. Oh, is it playing?
Yeah, play it now.
Like,
now that you made it big.
Yeah. So like when we first got there, it's like around 1:30. So people lining up for the big name celebrities like Brandon Routh and Paula Abdul and all these like Seth Green, people.
I saw Korn and Deftones in that arena.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the video's not playing, but that's all right.
That's okay. That's okay.
Do you have any other?
Yeah, let me show. I gotta show you the. Hold on a second. Where's like a million videos playing at once? All right, let me just get rid of this here. So then video 2, I have them labeled. This is, Paul Abdul. Okay, let me get rid of that. Who cares about Paul Abdul?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
My God.
So here's Bob Uecker taking a picture of this person in this like giant stilty costume. Like he's told him to stop so you can take a picture of them. This is right after we talked for like 10 minutes. I wish I had it recorded. I basically interviewed him.
Very cool.
That's but cool. I gotta show you
awesome Jack Skellington.
Yeah. So here I am waving goodbye to him. Like he was a nice guy. He's 85 years old.
Wow. God bless him.
Yep. So let's wave goodbye. Let's wave goodbye to Bob. Ready?
It's so pleasant. It was such a pleasant wave.
Pleasant.
It's so great.
Hold on a second. Then just show you the scope.
What was he charging for a picture and an autograph?
Not much, like $40. So I mean, I wasn't going to do it. I wanted to meet other people, but the fact that he talked to me for like 10 minutes, I'm like, well, I might as well.
Yeah, you kind of owe it to him. Yeah.
Right.
That's
so this is a video going there.
This is the second building. Tim Burton.
Oh my God.
So this is as you walk in, it's just like you can't even walk. It's like so packed.
Yeah, dude. That's like New York kind of crowd.
Right, I gotta show you the last video though of like the photo op area. So this is like you walk in and you go to the left here and it's like the whole like celebrity row. But
got some comments here. John Glover is great in Batman and Robin. Yeah, of course.
Oh, he is in that. That's right. Yeah, I forgot he's in that.
Yeah.
John Glover's a great person to talk with. Very interesting and a character. Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
and Bob is a great person. J-Bo. Okay. Hey, J-Bo. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, J-Bo.
So take a look at this. This is the photo op area, like the section, like that was Sonia about. Like, hold on, hopefully it'll play here. This is so crazy. So
we'll watch this last video and then we'll bring in tonight's guest.
Yeah, we don't want to keep our guest waiting.
People were dying, fanning themselves, and like, look at this sea of people, like, all crammed in one area upstairs.
Goodness.
God, and you had to get just looking at that, it's like I want nothing.
I've got anxiety already.
I'm with you, Johnny. I'm out.
And that's that one entrance you got into.
So New York felt like a shit show. It didn't feel like that kind of shit show.
Look at this. Look at this. Like all 3 hours of waiting in that one room like that.
No, thank you.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not all sick right now.
I know, yeah.
So the guys
just COVID rampant.
Yeah, right.
The guy's about to scream on his microphone, like just trying to get some like people's attention, like.
Oh, you can't even hear. Can't even make any of it out.
And people had to like fight the gauntlet of people.
Wow,
people to get there.
Oh my God, dude, it's fucking crazy.
It was so like miserable, like being there, like for 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan, dude, of that. So.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Like I said, it's got to be somebody I really want to meet if I'm going to go through something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I did it in Rhode Island to meet the voice of Optimus Prime back in the day because
Richard Cullen.
Peter Cullen. Yeah, absolutely.
Peter Cullen. Yeah.
Because I was a child in 1986 when he, when Optimus Prime passed away, and that affected me. So I had to share that with him.
And then he became Hillary Rodham Clinton Prime or something, right? Was the other?
Yeah, that's right. Rodimus Prime.
Right, Rodimus Prime.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Harry, for sharing.
Yeah,
all
thank
that
you for
stuff
the
for
Rhode
it.
Island
Looks like
report.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, no,
My first assignment, my first ICR assignment.
Hey, Matt, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Matt, thanks for checking
Oh,
us out.
one little small bit too that I wanted to tell you guys before we bring in the guest tonight too. We had a nice bump on the subscriber count this week. There was another YouTube channel, a guy that came to the Athol Comic Book Fest named Mike.
Cool.
He has a YouTube channel called, I think, Lunchbox or Lunch Money Comics, I think. Shout out to them. But his channel has like 10,000 or no, not. He has like 10,000 subscribers, and he just goes to like shows and looks for key issues and stuff. But he stopped by, he interviewed me and Amy, and then he took one of the Indie Comics relay cards, and he gave us a shout out and told people to come subscribe. So we got like 10 people to subscribe just from that video.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice,
and
man.
we're almost,
not bad.
Yeah, we're just about at 900 subscribers. So another 100 will be at 1,000. Which
we're
crazy.
that coveted 1,000.
I know.
We'll get there,
closer,
Keith.
dude.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, it's a little by little we're making it. You know,
I love the look on people's faces when when I tell them what our subscriber count is, and they go, "Oh." Like they're expecting it to be more.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's hard to, even though the subscriber count is like a reflection of the YouTube channel. I know we have viewers on Facebook, we have viewers on Twitter, so it's hard to say how many people are actually watching us live, but
right, yeah, because we actually have people from all over. We genuinely do.
We do. Like if we were just on YouTube, I think not that it's a bad number, but I think we're still building it. Like I kind of wish we were doing YouTube like 10 years ago, Johnny, to be honest with you. We'd be in a great place right now,
Yeah.
But live and learn, So But without further ado, we've kept him waiting for way too long.
Let's
bring in tonight's guest.
Great friend of mine.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to getting to know him, Mr. JC Cullins. What's up, JC? Welcome to the show.
How's everybody doing?
Hey,
good, man. How you doing? So the first question we usually ask a new guest is how you got into this crazy business of comics.
Oh,
can you hear us?
Can you hear us, JC?
Hello?
He can't hear us. He's got no audio.
Oh. What could be doing that? Can you hear us now?
We can hear you, but I don't know if you can hear us.
I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
I can't understand what you're saying.
I know, we can hear you, but you can't hear us. JC, maybe go back out and come back in, and maybe we can.
See if you can do that. Dip back in. While he's doing that, we'll kill a little time. So just to give you the audience a heads up, I met JC in San Diego. We were just two fans waiting in line during the. So San Diego, they'll do like a lot of off-site parties.
Okay.
And there was one happening for Machete that Robert Rodriguez was promoting. And he basically had this lot in San Diego where he had a bunch of food trucks where the cast of Machete were serving tacos.
That's fun.
Yeah. So I was able to.
Danny Trejo? Who else is in that movie?
So the person that served me tacos was both Danny Trejo and Michelle Rodriguez. They were both in the same truck. Cool. And I have a really great photo of them together, very close.
Is she nice in person, Johnny?
She was very nice.
Okay, great. Because she always seems like every character she plays, she's like a bitch,
No, she's definitely very nice. And when you're at a convention, you're in line with people and you tend to make friends. And me and my cousin Roger were, with next to John or JC, and I believe it's his friend Henry in line. And we just kind of got to talking and, made friends, and we kind of stayed in touch every year as we went back to the show.
That's awesome. Yeah, and like I gotta say, that's the one thing. That's one quality I like about you, Johnny. Like wherever we go, you kind of make friends with everybody that's around. And it's like one of those instances where it like carried on beyond just like the one time, right?
Yeah, for sure. I like meeting people.
Yeah, he popped in again for a second and then he dipped out again. So I'm waiting for him to
Okay,
appear in the green
no
room.
worries. When he comes back in, we'll let him back in.
Yeah,
A little bit of a technical difficulty. It wouldn't be an episode if we didn't have one, whether it's me or somebody else. Usually it's me.
I mean, well, hopefully he can come in. If he can, I'm sure we can shoot the shit for an hour and just whatever. Was there any other nonsense from Rhode Island, Harry? How long were you guys there for? Did you guys do the full day?
We got there at 1:30 and we left around right after her picture was taken. So that took us to the very end of the show. That's 7:00. I think they closed at 7 I think. And we're like just like talking like, should we go back in and see if anybody else is like walking around? Like, and they were kicking us all out. It's like anybody that was already in a queue to meet somebody is the last people in that queue. You guys have to leave. I'm like, all right.
Oh yeah, they do that a lot.
And then we forgot where we parked. We parked in some like weird side parking lot because it wasn't the same parking lot we always park in when we go there.
You didn't do the parking garage?
No, they directed us to some other weird side parking lot. We went right, so the convention to the left off the highway. So we went right, and we went down some like side street, and then we we just were concerned about getting there, not what street sign we're at or what buildings we're near, And then on the way out, it was like dark out now, so I'm like, where the hell are we? We have no idea where we were. I thought I knew where we were going, so we back traced our steps. And I found like a few this cop, and I'm like, hey, do you guys know where they were first parking the nerds that were coming into the Comic-Con? It's like, no, like, so it wasn't like a main nerd parking lot. He's like, no. He's like, I thought you guys,
the nerd parking lot.
Well, that's what I called it because like I figured he'd know what I was talking about. He's like, well, no, I figured you guys, you nerds were intelligent. I'm like, well, yeah, they can be, but when it comes to parking lots, they may not be. And plus, I prefer a geek, not a nerd. there is a difference, by the way. I think a nerd is somebody who doesn't really know that they're nerds, that they're socially awkward. Geeks are like people who have a specific interest and they're way into it, but they're aware of it.
I thought that was a nerd was a very specific interest that they know a lot about.
Well, I think a nerd has no idea of they're just in their own little world, and they have no idea how nerdy they are. I think a geek is like someone who's proud of like whatever their interest is.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
I feel.
So the parking situation at Rhode Island, so there are a few spots, kind of like hidden spots where you can park at near Rhode Island Comic-Con where you don't have to pay for the parking. So
really?
It depends on if you can kind of find them and get to them. I know one of them is at the back of the building, and I remember parking there, and then I think it was basically like not a vendor parking, but like a staff or like a volunteer parking. So I ended up squeezing in over there. And the entrance I went into was basically where like the celebrities were going outside to smoke. So I remember seeing David Prowse in his wheelchair. Was it David Prowse? No, Peter Mayhew, the Chewbacca.
Oh, yeah. Chewbacca, yeah.
In his wheelchair smoking.
Oh, cool.
I was like, that's Chewbacca. And just being completely like,
Hey,
amazed by it.
I have a question. Do you guys think that just doing this show, we could be like press? Like, we go in there as press. You think, and like
we could? Yeah, I mean,
people?
We used to do it when we used to do a show called the Swascast. Me and John Stamino.
Yeah.
And we used to use that to get press passes, but I think a lot of shows now, especially like something on the Rhode Island level, they probably, we'd have to ask So Wizard about this, but they probably like a little more stringent about giving out press passes. if it's a smaller event like my show or something, usually we just hand those out like, candy.
Yep. As long as you have
you can prove you have a website and a podcast,
As long as you have a derby with like the press tag on it,
Yeah.
or press card.
Or if you can at least provide a link to your podcast, we let you in, so
right.
Whereas I think like shows like that are a little more stringent on who they let in for press. You used to go as press too, didn't you, Johnny? Used to back in the day.
I did one Rhode Island with the con men as with a press pass. So I got to interview a lot of really awesome celebrities. One of the through themes of that interview session I did was asking celebrities what their favorite breakfast cereal was and what it was for them personally and for them as their primary known character. So like Lou Ferrigno versus the Incredible Hulk, things like that. And it was really fun. The con men have the footage of that. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it just never got released or maybe if it did get released and it's just buried somewhere on the internet, but I did get to do that one time and it was really fun.
That's cool. That. I think that's where we kind of first met, Johnny, but I didn't remember. Like you remembered meeting me and I didn't remember meeting you. And then
I met you. What I thought was, it was actually the old Boston Comic-Con.
Was it Boston
at the Seaport?
Comic-Con?
Yeah. Cause I remember stopping by a table and it was you and Johnny Cimino. I remember just chit-chatting for a few and then kind of keeping, moving on or whatever,
Yeah. And then, I don't think I got to really know you until that first Plastic City. And then you came to dinner with us and everything.
Yeah.
I kind of got to know you.
I felt like I got the golden ticket. I was like, oh, I'm in with a good crowd. I just got a text from JC. He's having major technical difficulties, so I don't think he's going to make it back on.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So it'll be just us guys.
Tell him if he figures it out, I can see him in the green room and, definitely pop in anytime. And we'll bring him in and talk. But I'm okay with just shooting the shit with you fellas.
Yeah,
so
no, definitely. I'll let him know.
Jeremy says we could probably get a press pass at this point since we're so close to 1K subscribers.
You would have to apply, Keith. I think I'm already on a wanted list in the back room over at Rhode Island.
That's the thing, though. Like Harry, I would do it, or I would let you. Pretend that you run the show and you could reach out to him for a press pass, but I don't want one. I don't even want to go to the show if it's free.
I know, right? I really feel that because I was talking to Jess because
unless
Bob,
I have a purpose,
right?
If I have a purpose to be there, I'll go.
What scenario would that be? Like what?
If I wanted to meet John Ritter, if he was
right.
I probably would go if I had a reason to see a creator or something because I see most of our creator friends at other shows throughout the year. So unless I had really because I don't, so the thing with Rhode Island, it's not really a comic show. If it was a comic show, I would go because I would like to look at comics and try to get discount, trades and stuff, but there's hardly any of that at Rhode Island.
That'd be kind of cool though. If you had if one of us had an exclusive interview with somebody that you really liked or wanted to interview for 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure Bob Eubanks, whatever. I'm pretty sure he would have let me record it because I was
he probably could have. Yeah. I mean, if you ever want to do that, Harry, I would say go for it. I'd work on getting you some recording equipment or something, or something you can put on your phone to record, But if you're ever interested in that, let me know. I'd love that. I would be all for it just so we could have the footage for the channel, So
that would be cool. Yeah.
What do you guys think? I think that would be cool, if you wanted to do that. I'd be all about that. So, but and in some cases like that, I would maybe go down with you, but it would depend. I'd
go as the camera guy, but I'd have to wear a hood and be an incognito. I'd have to. I'd look like when an Avenger wears goes out in public and it's like a baseball cap and sunglasses.
Yeah,
I'd have to be incognito.
No one ever sees the con men footage, Johnny.
I like Leo. I think Leo's a good dude.
He said also that he can't reply for Rhode Island either, and so that's interesting.
Oh yeah,
he says do the interviews for Terrificon.
if I wasn't exhibiting, I would.
Well, that's the thing. Like I was thinking about going back to Terrificon this year, but now that it's right, is it right before or right after Wicked? It's
the week after Wicked,
right. So,
which that's what it's going to keep me from Wicked this year, because it's San Diego, Wicked, then Terrificon. Having that 1 week buffer was I'm going to have to skip Wicked, unfortunately. Because I wanted to give it another shot, but.
Yeah, now that they're back at the see, that's the only show I chose to do. I already paid for Wicked, so I don't know. We'll see about Terrificon. I like I said, I'm not a fan of the 3 days. Like if it was just Saturday and Sunday, I'd probably be more inclined to do it. But I don't know. I'll talk to Amy as it gets closer and see what she thinks. But like, what was I gonna say? What week is San Diego in 2024?
It is the last weekend in July, and it was
and
it was on the same dates, the same original announced dates of Terrificon, and then Mitch so graciously moved it so that way a lot of people who do San Diego and Terrificon could do both.
Gotcha. So yeah, so we're looking for a date for next Plastic City. I'm thinking either to go late August again, or maybe mid-July, like maybe like that second or third week in July. Would you be open for that our show, Johnny? If
it's a week before,
even if it's like a week or two before, like would you go for that one, or you would? Okay, I'm still.
I would.
What's that?
I would.
Okay,
yeah, for sure.
We're Amy had a nice meeting, so I'll give you guys an update on Plastic City. Says I don't think we're going back to Game On, which sucks because I really like that space.
Really now?
They just will not budge on the parking thing, and that's just gonna.
The Wi-Fi was a problem for people too.
Yeah, I could live with that. Like I could, if I let people know about that ahead of time. I think
that's everywhere now, because even at Rhode Island they were charging for Wi-Fi. I think they're
trying to make money anywhere.
Yeah,
especially a facility that big and stuff.
Everything costs something now.
Yeah, and I'm fine with the Wi-Fi part, but I'm not fine with the parking stuff, especially since they don't pay for parking any other time of the week except for the weekend, which is just silly to me. So and the fact that they won't waive it, like, is just, so I gotta move. This show is always about being cheap and always being, a good show for your money, really low price for people. And I can't do it. I can't just be like, I love this facility, so pay for parking, assholes.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So,
what is there a backup plan in place now, or
I have a few places that were mentioned to me for to do shows at. But Amy had a nice meeting with the people at the DoubleTree in Leominster, which I've tried a couple times with them and had no results with. But a woman's touch, like she went and talked to the girl, and so they're working something up. I'm going to see if we can make that work. If we can make that work, I would love to do it at the DoubleTree. So, and then we can do like a block of rooms, cheap. So if people want to come in Friday and stay over and things like that, we can do that.
Right.
So we'll see. It's in progress.
Now do you want to stay in the Fitchburg, Leominster area, or would you consider
I would like to,
venturing out?
If I had to venture out, I would, I would still keep the name, because I think, we built the brand under Plastic City. I would hate to change it,
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be like X, the comic, or something like, but like, I mean, I was also thinking the hotel in Devon's might be okay, so we'll see. We'll see if I can work something out with DoubleTree. If I can't, then we'll fall into some of the backups. And one of the backups is possibly doing a smaller show again. You know, what did you think of that place where we saw Lucky Pro Wrestling, Johnny?
It was good, but the seat, like, it seems small.
Well, they have an upstairs room that
Yeah.
the show was actually. So I talked to the Lucky Pro guy. So he's friends. The guy who runs the Lucky Pro Wrestling is friends with Tim, the store manager that I work for at One Stop Shop.
Okay.
And the One Stop Shop actually sells tickets to the Lucky Pro Wrestling events at the store.
Oh, okay.
And the guy came in a couple weeks ago that runs Lucky Pro, and we talked for a little while because like he recognized me from Plastic and everything. And he was saying the event was supposed to actually be in the upstairs area, which is a bigger room, but they double booked that weekend. So that's why the show was downstairs in that little area.
Oh,
so there's
okay.
actually a bigger room upstairs that they were supposed to be in. So
Oh,
I was like,
okay. Gotcha.
So, but think about that. If you rented it out for a Saturday, you could have that downstairs area. You could have that upstairs room. It might be a little bit of a nice little show, you know? So that's one thing I've been thinking about if as a backup, you know? And if I did go to a smaller space like that, I would probably, what I would do is probably only allow a certain amount of comic vendors, a certain amount of artists, a certain amount of writers. So that way it feels like Plastic City, but just on a smaller scale. So I would kind of curate that a little bit, not let whoever pays first in kind of thing, you know?
So the other benefit to the vendor there, and I think it's part of what made Plastic City such a hit originally, is that when you reduce the amount of tables, but you have a good amount of people coming through, there's more money to be had across those vendors. So in turn, and then you're also creating exclusivity for that show. So in turn, you know, you have people who always want to be there. They always want to go there. You could even go the SPX route and sell half tables. So it's like, okay, you can either go a full table for this amount or a half table for this amount.
Share the other half with somebody else. Kind of thing.
So for artists, you know, like if you have like an artist alley, like a small artist alley, it could be a bunch of half tables. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not bad. You get a bunch of 6-footers and you just split it in half. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. I didn't think
8-footers.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and you get more people in there, more artists. That would work, you know? Yeah, so that's one of the plans. So we'll see as we plan it out what happens, you know. I'll let everybody know as soon as I find out, you know. So, Amy was saying
breaking news though. You heard it here first, people.
Yeah, right. What did Jay at Rhode Island Comic Con, the convention center was charging $80 a day for Wi-Fi. It wasn't RICC doing the charging. It's the convention center. So that's what happened with Game On, except it wasn't 80 a day, it was like $5. So I mean that's right. $80. That's a lot of money for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's pricey.
And that's most people's bill for a month, you know, in their house, you know. Amy said with Game On, it was that they didn't tell us in advance that vendors would have to pay. We were all surprised. Yeah, I didn't find that out till Friday night that they were charging for Wi-Fi.
It's to make it for that parking.
And then Amy said, yeah, exactly. Alex has
that's the other thing too, though, is what a racket, because they're in a metal building. So they're pretty much forcing you onto the Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was built like that just for that reason, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I know. All these venues, man, they don't, you know what I mean? They see the money and they lose their shit, you know? So
yeah, for real.
What's that you're drinking, Keith? There's some kind of
I got soda? I found a couple bottles of the AI Coke.
I've tried that.
It's becoming scarce. I like it. I know you, Johnny, you were kind of like on it, right?
I was tasting things that like I couldn't put my finger on. Like at one point I tasted light beer. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like either I'm like, I got a weird tongue or there's flavors going on in there that I have no idea.
When I drink it, I feel like it tastes like RC Cola to me, but
I can get our Tab. kind of thing.
Like that, where it's like,
I don't think I've ever had that Tab or RC or what's the other one? Moxie. Ever had any of those?
Oh, Moxie's that's disgusting.
Right.
I remember I was who is it? Do you know John Amenta? Johnny? He's one of the hosts on I think it's Pint of Comics podcast.
Oh, yes.
I was sitting next to him once at a show, and some lady walked by, and she said, "Oh, I love Moxie," and he's like, "Moxie?" He was like, "Why?" He goes, "That soda tastes like hatred."
It's like hatred.
I'll never forget that. It was so goddamn funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've always thought of it as like, name the worst thing you can think of, like banana peel, or like, brushing your teeth after drinking OJ, like that kind of, or drinking OJ after brushing your teeth, kind of like any type of thing, like chewing aluminum foil, all things that Moxie reminds me of.
Hey, thanks, Jaybo. I saw that you had to head out. Thanks for joining us for a few minutes.
Thanks for checking us out, Jaybo.
But yeah, no. So what else going on, gents, that we can talk about? I mean, it looks like the guests, we're probably not gonna have the guests back tonight, but
yeah, unfortunately.
Well, Johnny, do you want to talk them up a little bit more? Like you had mentioned that you guys met in the line at San Diego.
Yep.
And then you also like, I think in your email you said that he actually worked. He was like a stuntman actor too.
Yep. So he did a few some stunt work and some background extra work on Marvel TV shows and Star Wars TV shows. So pretty sure he played a stormtrooper.
He was a stormtrooper.
I'm pretty sure he's a stormtrooper in one of the TV and Mandalorian, I think.
What Marvel show was he a part of?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I just know there was a Marvel show in there. I think it was Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, but I could be wrong there, so I don't want to, misquote or whatever. But those companies usually share the same agencies in which they recruit from. So Disney,
right? Yeah, like it's almost like a team, right? That goes to every show or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. So he did that. He worked for the Marvel booth proper a few years, just kind of wrangling people and managing things there. And he also had a charity where he would, if a convention was in town, and he would gather a few things, donation from booths that were looking to unload stuff, or if there was any, generous vendors or exhibitors that would offer any freebies, he would collect that and he'd bring it to the local children's hospital that was there, that where kids who couldn't make it to a convention could actually partake and get some of the free stuff. And it was just like, he's always been such a kind and humble individual, and just a model guy. And, I always think, he's just a good guy in general. You know what I mean? And then finally this year in San Diego, he laid this book on me, and, he's always known that I've wanted to make comics, and he finally made his own comic. And I was just so proud of him, and it was just so awesome that he was able to lay this on me. And I read it, and it's just a great book. It's got vibes of The Crow, Game of Thrones, Dune, so much Clash of the Titans. Like, you got so many different vibes from this book.
That's awesome.
Assassin's Creed. There's like so many little things that. I wish he was on the show so we can get a little bit more insight into his inspiration and how people can read the book. But real awesome book. If you do happen to come across it any which way, definitely pick it up, check it out. Highly recommend.
Yeah. I mean, while we're talking, if you could text him on the side, let him know that we're talking him up, and then if he could let us know how people could get the book if they're interested. We can put that info on the show here for
yeah, for sure. I texted him in reply. Haven't heard back yet. Again, it's probably technical difficulties, but he did say to message him after as well to get copies that he can send out to you guys.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I don't even know how to contact him. He's like, that's the other weird thing about him is
he's in the League of Shadows.
Really disconnected, which is awesome. Like, I admire that.
Yeah. He's definitely a little disconnected in terms of social media. Like the book isn't really hosted anywhere that I'm aware of. So that's the other thing too, is just like the motivation for making a book, but not necessarily making it widely available. I was curious to find out a little bit more about that too.
Like, I wonder if he's like, I mean, like legit the type that I made this book for myself and now like I'll go to conventions and sell it, but that's about it. Like, I don't want
I
to be
respect the
online.
hell out of that, because that's kind of the approach
Dude.
that I take a little bit is, like I make the books that I like. I make my books because I like them. It's stuff I would buy. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And I would only hope that other people would be interested in it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, dude.
that kind of
Like,
thing.
I mean, I admire the fact that he doesn't give a fuck about social media. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I wish I could be that way too. Like,
I was going to say, you got his email, so you can always reach him via email. You can hit him up and circle back around on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll message him. I'll text him to see if we can get a landing spot for him for his work.
Yeah, it'd be great. And then we can put Amy's asking for a link, and I was like, well, I scoured the internet whenever I have a guest. Like, I look them up. I try to find their socials. I try to find images of their book and stuff. And JC, out of all the guests we've had in the 3+ years, I could not find a lick of that guy's existence.
He's off the grid.
He is off the grid, man.
Is he in California? Is that where he is?
I think so. Well, right? I met him in California, so I assume California, but assume nothing.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's play a clip of him as a stormtrooper. Do you have any clips of him of his acting work?
I did have his demo reel at one point. I couldn't tell you. Well, let me see if I have that link. I might be able to facilitate that for us.
If you have it, that'd be fun to look at. If you had
that would be cool for sure.
So did you guys watch Loki? I know we talked about.
I haven't seen it yet. No.
I kind of like, well, I've fallen off a lot of the Marvel stuff, DC stuff. Did you watch it, Johnny? Is it good?
I like it so far. I like it a lot. I think there's some really cool things, deep cuts for Marvel comic readers.
Oh,
but
really?
Also, it's pushing the Marvel. It's the only show that I feel like is pushing the MCU forward.
Okay.
Where the other shows really don't do that very much.
Do their own thing, right?
They all kind of do their own thing. This felt like it pushed things forward a little bit. So
that's like, kind of, I think, you referring to the Kang stuff?
A little bit of the Kang stuff, a little bit of the way the crisis of what's happening in the show, and a little bit of the way they are describing the multiverse. And the way that they are introducing variants.
Gotcha.
Is there a new Kang yet, or a new? Has he been
recast? No, they're keeping John Majors.
Are they keeping him even after the controversy?
Yeah, I think they decided to keep him, right, Johnny? Like, it's weird that they did do that. It's probably because they invested so many movies in him, being Kang, but. Honestly, like if you left that outfit on, you could have anyone in that role. Like I don't think anyone would even notice it was him,
Yeah.
Well, they distinctly gave him his face, so it's not like they went like the comic book route where it was kind of like a generic blue face with the identifying lines.
Okay,
you know what I mean? So that's the other thing is that they the same way you could see Josh Brolin and Thanos.
Okay.
You can kind of see where, they're leaning on Jonathan Majors for Kang. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah. Tony's heading out. He says, gotta head out. Love the casual conversations as always.
Thank you for checking us out, Tony.
Yeah, Tony, definitely. Loki is dope, Jeremy says. And he says, but I'm not watching all of the Marvel stuff. Yeah, no, that's where I am, Jeremy, too. I doubt I'm going to see the Marvels. I think that just looks.
That's this Friday, I believe.
Are you going, Johnny? You going to see it?
I might go only because I got credits I got to use.
Yeah, I know. There hasn't been. I was just saying that to Amy. Like, there has not been any reasons to run to the theater lately. Like, there hasn't been anything I wanted to see. You know, you fallen into that too.
A lot of it's coming to digital so quickly, and given that I've been so busy, normally movies would stay in theaters for a while. So even if I missed it like a month out, it would still be playing regularly. Now it's like 3 weeks out and it's already available on digital.
Right.
So
Yeah,
why would I go to the theater unless I really want the theater experience for it? You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm running into.
We almost went to see Haunting in Venice, but then that popped up on Hulu like last week, and I'm like, now we don't have to go see that.
Right.
And then there hasn't been like usually there's a ton of horror movies, but this year it was like Saw X and Exorcist, and that was it, really.
Yeah, Five Nights at
Freddy's, which I heard it was good, but I heard it was kind of like more for kids. Did you watch
it? I started watching it, but it was late at night, so I ended up dozing off.
Oh, okay.
But it seemed like it was all right so far. I
had Matthew Lillard in it, which is kind of fun.
Shaggy?
Yeah, Shaggy or Scream.
Or Stu.
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah. So far it seemed good. I just I didn't get into any of the good stuff really. You know, so I couldn't make it. I couldn't make a good judgment for you in that regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it seems like all the better stuff's coming out more mid-November and December kind of thing, you know. And I do want to see that Killers of the Flower Moon, but the 3.5 hours has kind of scared me off a little bit.
That's a little bit of a deterrent for me lately. Is just a long time in a theater.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I used to be okay with it. Like I think back to all the times I watched Lord of the Rings. Like I saw each one of the Lord of the Rings movies 3 times over in the theater.
Yeah, I did too. I saw them a couple times each.
But now I can't sit through a 3-hour movie anymore.
It's tough.
Man. Those seats were more uncomfortable than these seats.
Yeah, right.
That's the problem, right? The seats are too cozy. You doze right off.
Yeah, no, it's true. And at least at home you can pause it, get up, walk around a little bit, go to the bathroom.
Right.
Make $3 popcorn instead of $12 popcorn.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I gotta say, I'm looking forward to in November the Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. I can't wait to see that movie.
It's gonna be great.
I love a good old school slasher, and
I love that it evolved out of Grindhouse.
Yeah, that's like the second movie to come out of Grindhouse trailers,
which is
right?
Really cool.
Now, if they just make Don't. You know, the Edgar Wright's Don't.
Oh, yeah.
That one? Oh, God, so good. How are you guys, Harry, you going to any conventions for the rest of the year, or are you done?
I think I'm done for, and I don't think that, well, actually, there's like another guy, the one that you just like to the Northeast Comic Con. Is that?
Yeah.
There's another.
I don't hate that show, but I always feel like I would probably go to that one more than I would Rhode Island.
The only reason why I would go to it is just like maybe find like a toy or something, you know, because like the holidays are coming up, you know. It's gonna be like busy the rest. That comic that I'm working on for with Bruce.
Oh yeah. How's that coming along?
He liked the first page. I colored it, you know, and I left it with no shading or shadows or detail on there. And he's like, "Oh, Harry, I like everything. Yeah, it looks pretty good, but can you add, more of the detail?" I'm like, "All right, sure." But he liked it, and so he gave me the next 9 pages. It's a 10-page book, so I'm like, "So yeah, so if you can get that done for me," I'm like, "Kind of quickly." I'm like, "What does that mean? What's quickly?" He's like, 2 weeks. I'm like, 2 weeks, like I have a full-time job. I 2 weeks. That goes my entire free time. My my happening social life. So whatever. That means like working every night or at least the entire weekend and trying to get it done because he wants to like try and sell them for Christmas or get them out for Christmas and give them out as gifts or whatever. So and I guess. The comic is going into some historical book or something. That's a read about.
Oh, weird. How long is it? Is it just the
I think it's just 10 pages from.
Oh, okay.
both
He
of them.
wants you to do 10 pages in 2 weeks?
Right. So
That's a
that's
little
going to be,
crazy.
That's
especially
madness.
Thanksgiving coming up. I mean, the way he drew it, he kind of drew it kind of rough, and there's a lot of rough pencil marks and
Yeah.
things that need to be erased and redrawn and maybe fixed and corrected. So I'm not only am I coloring, I'm also fixing and editing and trying to make it look good too, and trying to imagine what colors to use and whatever. And it's gonna be like if I don't know, it's gonna be tons of work. Like I don't know how I'm gonna do it. It's just
Well, do it on your time. That's crazy. Unless the pay was like compensated accordingly, like that's madness.
Yeah, like and if he wanted this out for Christmas, he should have been getting the stuff to you in the summer sometime, so you had time to work on this.
He tried to, but I just couldn't do it because I was busy then too doing my side's thing. So I was like busy doing freelance work, whatever, and I couldn't do it. I was like too overwhelmed with stuff. So, but then he showed me page 1, and I'm like, oh yeah, that looks pretty good, And it's too bad I couldn't help you back in the summer because like your style of drawing is similar to what I can do. It's like similar to my style of drawing, and I could definitely.
Saying you're inking and coloring too?
It's not really inking. What I'm doing is I'm trying to do it in the fastest, easiest way possible. So what I'm doing is I'm taking his pencil or his drawings, I'm bringing them into Photoshop and making them crisp. The lines like really, really, just trying to clean them up. I'm taking that, bring it into Illustrator, and a little bit behind the scenes, and I'm live tracing the line work. And then I'm like putting color behind the lines and shading and adding like details. So, I mean, I can show you a page. I mean, I don't know if I have it down here.
That sounds like I would reset expectations with him because, I mean, that's a lot of work for 2 weeks,
Like if
you might have to wait another year to do it if it's going to be a Christmas.
I told them I would do my best, but he says towards the end of his 10 pages, his arm, because he had like some kind of shoulder injury or something, and he couldn't. And then towards the end of his drawing of the pages, like the last 4 pages, it got really shaky. And I'm like, well, listen, I'm not gonna do too much correcting, I want to just color it as it is and do the best I can because there's no way in 2 weeks I can like do all those things, like. Especially with like Thanksgiving and holidays coming up and like work.
Yeah, I know. Like
in the coloring process, you could probably hide some of the imperfections. I'm sure.
That's what I'm going to try and do. Yeah, I'm trying to like use sneaky ways, like shortcuts to try and cut things out or whatever.
Amy says to live trace the line work.
No, that's exactly what I'm doing. I mean, so I'm bringing it into Illustrator. I'm live tracing the line work and then like adding color behind the dark lines and like adding shades and whatever else. So
that still takes a lot of time though.
He says it will be published in a upcoming Greenfield history book. So
cool.
So at least I'll have my name. At least I'll have my name in it, and like I'll get credited for it, and that's kind of cool, I guess.
But yeah, but
cool.
It's a lot of work, though.
It is a lot of work, and like I could understand if you didn't have a day job,
Right. If I didn't have a day job, no problem. I'll do it in 2 weeks. If I had a 2 week
done in a week, But like, trying to work that around everything else, it's.
I'm getting. I told him I'm getting. He's like, Harry, with like great creativity. It's like Peter Parker, with great creativity comes great, whatever, meeting deadlines. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? At my age, I'm getting older now, so deadlines is my kryptonite. I can't really I can't really.
Is he gonna pay you too, or are you gonna get paid for this?
No, he is gonna give me something. And then when I was trying to tell him how much work would be involved, he's like, well, maybe I can try and squeeze some more dollars. I get some more people to help out with that. I'm like, all right, it's not what I was getting at. It's just like it's the time thing. It's not the money thing. It's more time. If I had
right.
But
she said she misspoke. She said live tracing.
Live tracing. Yeah.
What did she say? I misspoke. Live tracing the drawing is inking in my
in
Oh,
my
okay.
book. Is what they
Yeah.
were saying.
So I try and like in Photoshop make it as crisp as I make it 1200 DPI and the highest you can do it, and then I clean out all the weird pencil markings
Smudges
and
and stuff.
smudges.
Yeah.
I got rid of the framework around the comics themselves because they were drawn with like a ruler or something, and he went, they crisscross each other, and the lines don't connect. I gotta show you if I can get page 1, I can show you what she sent me, and
Yeah, if you can find it, but
do a side by side comparison.
Yeah. You don't have to go crazy about it.
Yeah, let me try and find.
If you can find it, that's great. Johnny, did you said you were writing something last week too? Did you get that done?
I didn't get it done. It was due at the beginning of the month and or the end of last month. But
Is it something you can talk about, or?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, so it's a project I'm working on with my booth mate in California, James Andrew Clark.
Okay.
It is kind of a Lovecraft meets Green Acres. So it's a little bit of like podunk, like farm folk dealing with monsters.
Oh, weird.
So it starts it starts off a little goofy, and then it progressively gets darker and weirder and more like horror.
Or is it like
What's that?
One shot, or is it
one shot? I think it's going to fall at about 32 to 36 pages, somewhere in between there. So
you guys both co-own it, kind of thing.
That's the idea. So it was his concept, and I'm writing it, and he's editing it, and we're going to figure it out from there. And we're hoping to have it available for July for that Comic-Con.
Is he an artist, or is it?
No, he's a writer.
You guys are going to find an artist for it after.
Right. So the artist he used to work with is the guy illustrating the new Punisher comic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, and he's been published by Dark Horse before.
Oh wow.
So
are you guys going to try to get that guy, or?
No, we can't get that guy. We can't get Dave, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think you can get him now, right? Now
no, definitely not. But we want to find a really good artist that we think can comprehend and tackle the material, and then go from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as long as you get.
And you're always my favorite for lettering, Keith, if you're available.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I will make time for that. That sounds like an awesome book.
I appreciate that, man. I always appreciate that. So yeah, I'm working on that right now, and then I have to go into. So here's the other thing. The reason why I didn't hit my deadline is because as I was completing the story, I kind of made a discovery of so my ending has now become a false ending, and there's another ending.
Oh, okay.
So I was, as I was writing it out, I'm like, well, this is good, but I feel like it could be better with another ending. So just kind of like having that, like, oh, I think everything's okay, but no, wait, there's more. And then that's the ending.
Oh, okay.
So now I have to do that just a little bit extra. That's the more
gist of it. Yeah.
Right. And then once that's done, the script will be done, but I also have to. I use a very outdated writing program for scripting, and not a lot of people like the format in which it outputs, which is usually like panel on one side.
Yeah, I've gotten some of your scripts. It's almost like I know it's weird. Like it's almost like a spreadsheet in a little weird ways. Like, but it's not bad. Like when I think what I had to do with your book, I had to take it because you sent it to me as a PDF, right?
Yep, probably.
So I think I had to take it and turn it into a Word file so that I could actually cut and paste the dialogue.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what I had to do. But yeah, no, I could see where that would probably bother people.
Cell text. Yes, it is cell text.
Oh, is that the
yes,
name of
it is. Oh, Ben,
wow,
I love cell text, and I'll never get off of it. And I'll always use it. I paid for the old school premium executable file.
Okay.
So, and I still use that even though they've stopped supporting that.
Is it a one payment kind of thing?
At the time it was. Now it's a monthly subscription, but you can upload to the cloud and all that stuff, right? but the program
laughing.
is
He
so
says he loves it
I
too.
love it, right? It's so intuitive. I can open up my comic script and say convert to radio play, and it'll take all the pertinent detail and turn it into a radio play.
Oh wow.
So it's a very cool platform.
I think all I did with my well, I used to use Word, but now I have Open Office. But what I used to do was I would just there was a way to create a template in Word that could work like a screenplay, and that's what I did. I created it so that you have all the indents and everything. That's what I ended up doing. Yeah, and he's also nice. The same. He refuses to pay for the subscription.
So Ben, do you have the EXE? Do you still use the program, or are you using like a free version of the online?
Yeah, we'll see
how he uses it.
So I think what I'm trying to do,
move off to a different platform, I've never liked it. I'm just Celtex is just a comfortable shoe. You know what I mean? The only problem is
a great basketball team too.
Oh, what's that?
And a great basketball team too. They're doing really good this year.
Yeah.
Celtics. I never heard of that program. How did you run into that, Johnny? Did you just
a long time ago? Just kind of because I started using it as a screenwriting program, and then when I noticed it could do comics, that was like, oh, this is neat, and it can kind of do a little bit of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the thing I liked about your script, like the formatting is like, you know, the one side has like the panel or the page number, panel number, and then on the right side has all the dialogue and the actions that are going to happen on that panel.
Right. With captions, things like that.
Yeah. And I thought that was like, wow, okay, that's a great way to do it, you know?
Hey, Keith, am I sharing?
Old
sorry.
Downloaded app doesn't need to be an internet. Yeah, no, I agree.
Same. Man. That's what I have. Yep.
What were you saying, Harry?
Harry, go on. Did this show that I'm showing anything or?
Oh yeah, I see it in the background. I'll pull it up in a minute here. Yeah. What were you going to say, Johnny?
I was going to say that I don't need to use the online cloud feature they offer because my files are saved to Dropbox, like I've said before in the past. So, you know, no matter what computer I use Celtex on, as long as I save that file to my Dropbox folder that's on that computer, so between work computer and home computer, I'll always have the latest file that I'm working off of.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just ended up getting, like, speaking of, like, 'cause I remember you told me I should get Dropbox and store or pay for the Dropbox and store like all my files there. We ended up getting rid of cable finally with Verizon. So we cut cable off. So now we just have the internet. We have like their top internet. And included with that is Verizon Cloud. So and they gave us like 2 terabytes of
that's
storage.
awesome.
Yeah, for free. It's part of the internet package and everything.
Use
I'm
that.
like, hell yeah. I'm gonna.
Does that have links where you can share a link out and people can download from it?
I think so. I haven't played around with it, but I bet it does. You know, I bet it works the same way as Dropbox. You know,
I'm sure. I mean, there's all sorts of platforms that all kind of do the same thing like that.
Yeah, so that ended up working out good. You know, and we pay less. We haven't watched cable, and I don't even know how long now. You know, so but we've been paying for it. It's like, get rid of that. You know.
Yeah, for real.
All right, so Harry, you found some pages for the book?
Just the first page.
Check it out.
Just the first page, and then
let me pull it up.
The other 9 were mailed to me. So here's.
Oh, okay. Can you make it bigger? Like, can you zoom in?
So here's what he sent me. So you can see.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
this is the book right here.
Right. This is like page 1 of the 9-page, and you know it's a little rough, but I'm fixing as I'm. Hold on, can I go down here?
Yeah, go for it.
So maybe I should put my mouse in. Hold on a second. Let me mouse it around.
But like I don't know, I'm getting like Harvey Picar vibes for some reason.
Yeah,
I see that too.
I forget it takes place. It's a
Harry we had on the show months and months ago.
I guess it's a true crime type comic that he's working on. I'm not sure what this guy did to, but hold on. And then mine is where's mine? So there's that, and then let me get out of here.
I mean, that's a lot better than my roughs when I give a rough to the artist.
So how do I meet this?
You can almost use
great
that
color
as,
shadow work there, though, Harry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is what you added to it?
Yeah, so I had little details here in the face,
Yeah.
little shadows, and these two panels take place at night, so it's like darker.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to redraw it, which is nice. You just
No, I'm just cleaning. So like Amy said, I streamlined it, the black lines, and just trying to fix it, trying to correct some things, connect some lines, and make it look better or neater,
So wait, how many pages you said you have to cram now? 2 weeks?
So 9 more.
9 pages in 2 weeks?
Yeah, but I got to add some shadow, like little dinky, so here I'm starting this one here in the corner.
That's
doing
doable.
The lettering?
I think that's doable. You might actually be able to hit that. If it's just like coloring and touch up, you might be able to hit that.
Where's my Illustrator? So so here's how I'm doing it. Basically, I'm hiding
all the little imperfections.
Yeah, so see, I'm putting the color in back of the box. You know what I mean? Like the black lines. I mean, so whatever.
Yeah,
so it's not super hard. I'm just trying to clean it up, and
it's just time consuming.
Yeah, he suggested because he learned doing it in Photoshop, like doing like a black light method or something. I forget what he called it. But I'm not really. I'm an illustrator, so I don't know how to. I have better control in Illustrator than I do in Photoshop.
Yeah,
so
I hate Photoshop. Like I do everything I can in Illustrator.
I'm pretty proud of her.
Illustrator
lips.
seems like it's the more preferred platform.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like even for lettering, I find I like better than Photoshop.
I just have so much better control over.
Are you going to do the lettering, Harry, or
no? I think he's going to slap it on after I color everything. So
make sure he tell him to go to Blambot's website and at least go through the lettering tutorials on there so that the lettering looks halfway decent.
Yeah,
because I find it anybody that just I'm going to do the lettering myself, it always looks like shit. So have him at least check that out before he does anything, or at least go to YouTube and look up, videos by letterers and you know what I mean, and just have him do it, because if he does shitty lettering, it's gonna make the book look like crap.
Right. Yeah.
Swear to God, I know it's something people don't think about, but it really makes or breaks a book.
It really does.
I thought I'd be able to get it done in months from now. Oh yeah, a month from now I can show you the finished product, but I guess it's gonna be weeks from now, so I can show you. If I get it done,
I'd say chip away at it, and then if you can get it done, you can get it done. But I wouldn't skimp any of your time on it either.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I might spend the entire weekend doing it because during the day, because I go visit my sister once a week to go visit my little niece and nephew. I go to my other friend's house once a week. I do this once a week. So the many things, almost every, I can tell you, you can shout out a time. I can tell you where I am. At any point, any day of the week. So I don't have extra time to do stuff, but
yeah. No, I hear you.
Whatever. Yeah.
Johnny, this Ben said that he downloaded a free version of Arc Studio. He hasn't tried it yet, but he needs to migrate to a new writing app eventually. I haven't heard of
I've never heard of Arc Studio, so I'm curious to know about that.
Yeah, I'll have to look that one up. I guess it's a writing thing. Looking good, Harry.
Oh, thank you.
Towards your artwork.
Thanks.
Amy said the art isn't bad for unconnected lines. If you have to be quick, can you skip the touch up, delete white, and just drop the color in a layer under the line?
Yeah, it's a good idea too. But I like doing the color in sheets, not section, because the black lines divide the white. If you know what I'm talking about. I'm not sure if you know. If you streamline a picture, if it's black and white, then I know what Amy's saying. Take the white pieces and color those pieces, but
never late, Sean.
Shauna, thanks for joining us.
But I like coloring. I like getting rid of all the white and adding sheets of color in the back, just like again to have better control over it. I hate little.
I thought it looked good, dude. I mean, it looks
thanks.
good.
Thanks.
It's just so hopefully he doesn't skimp out on the last part. Like,
I mean, I'm afraid to. I think he emailed me the next 9 pages, and I haven't really looked at it yet. But I'm afraid to look at the last 4 pages. But whatever. What is going on here?
I'd say go just do it at your own pace, and if you can hit the deadline, you hit it. If you can't, then
no, I'll give it a try.
It has to come out later, you know. Is it a Christmas story, or is it like?
No, it's kind of like a guy who's like a criminal. I think so. I don't know.
So it's not even. So why does it need to be done for Christmas?
I think he wanted to get it out by Christmas as a gift or something, or maybe give them as gifts or.
Oh, I see. Well,
something like that. But it's kind of
started a lot earlier than this.
Kind of short notice. Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
I think he tried, but I think in the meantime he didn't find anybody between the summer and now, and so
I would have a conversation with him and tell him it's unrealistic so that he's not disappointed if you don't hit the deadline, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying earlier, if I didn't have a day job, it would be much easier to do.
Yeah, it'd be a different story than you have this to work on all day.
Yeah,
you know?
But I'll give it a shot anyway. I told him I would, so whatever.
I mean, I'm having I work part-time and I still can't keep up with a lot of stuff, you know?
Yeah,
so,
right. Yeah.
You know, I've been trying to write the next issue of Mighty Mascots for 2 weeks now, and I just haven't gotten to it, you know?
Tough, especially you just want to, when you want to just sit down and find the time to start writing. And even when you do sometimes find the time to start writing, you sit down and you're just not clicking.
Yeah,
exactly. It's that's the worst part about it.
Right. Or you're not in the headspace for it or what, you know?
I think my problem. One of my major problems is the ability to say no. You know, I have a very hard time saying no to people.
I hear you.
My aunt, my mother's sister, lives in Greece, and I went there years ago, like 8-9 years ago, to visit her for the first time. I mean, I haven't been there since I was like a fat little chubby baby, you know. But I went there as an adult like a few years ago, and I sat down. She's an amazing woman. She's like probably in her mid 80s now. And she broke her leg, years ago, and she works on a farm. She has like sheeps and dogs and chickens and whatever, and she, milks the cows. She makes her, she like collects the eggs. She, make everything. So when I went there, I visited her, my girlfriend and I, and my sister at the time. I mean, my girlfriend at the time, sister currently. We went there and we sat down at her kitchen table, and everything on the table she made, like the ham, it was like from her, her pig, like the eggs from her chickens, like even the seat covers we're sitting on were made from like woven from old T-shirts, or in clothes. I'm like, oh my God, everything was handmade, It was
pretty
amazing.
Cool. Respect to that.
And then she gave us these like little cups, like Greek coffee, like with a mud in the bottom, like the Java, whatever. And I'm like, oh, thank you, and I'm making the coffee, and she's like, okay, let me get all the cups. And she's like collecting all the cups, and then she takes my cup and like slams it on the table. Okay. And then like, what's she mad about, And she's like, no. My sister's like, Harry, she's going to read your fortune because she reads coffee grinds.
Oh,
and
weird.
she reads the streaks that when the coffee grinds go down the side of the cup. And she's like shaking her head. She's looking at my cup, and she's like shaking her head. It's like, Harry, like, I don't like what I'm seeing here. Like you have a very, very bad habit. Yes. It's like you have a very bad habit. You can't say no to people. Like you could be in bed at like 11 o'clock, and a friend of yours can call you and say, hey, I need some help moving something, or I need some help doing something. Can you come quick? And you may say, you're in your head, you want to say no, but you say, sure, I'll go. And like, it's like, don't do that. Stop doing that. Yeah. You can say no sometimes. That's your worst habit. I'm like, whew, I'm glad that's all you saw, whatever. So yeah, but she's right though. I can't say no. So it's like one of those. I always think that if I say no to somebody, then later on down the road, if I need help, then I'm the guy that
would be there for you.
Right,
yeah,
right,
no.
right.
Right.
It's kind of how I feel. I don't know.
No, that's understandable though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I mean,
Yeah.
like it's kind of true, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. But what were we saying? What were we talking about?
Be realistic with Bruce about
With being deadlines and stuff.
But I'll try and get it. I'll try and go for it. Like one last thing before the year's over, and for if it,
I'd say try it, and then if it doesn't
projects.
work out, then it doesn't work out. You know, so
yeah,
I don't know.
I've always done that though. Have you known yourself that you guys, both of you guys, like to ever like just you take on too much work, more work than
you
God,
dude, this last year was
because you forget how old
2023 was that. Harry.
Yeah, because you forget how old you are. I think I'm getting too old.
Well, it's not even that. It's just the time. Like I took on trying to do 3 issues of Mighty Mascots.
Yeah,
with a campaign. I took on Plastic City. Going to conventions, all this stuff. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot to juggle.
Lettering jobs. I took lettering jobs that I shouldn't have taken, and all kinds of stuff. So my time is always filled with shit.
That's what I tell people is like there's never a lack of something for me to be doing. It's just a matter of what am I just putting off for now, and just feeding the project that needs the most attention at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had to other things had to fall by the wayside, like cleaning my house or I usually try to keep up with I buy 30 40 comics every month, and I'll bag and board them after I read them and put them away. I had a whole year's worth of comics that I hadn't even touched that had to be bagged and boarded and put away. So first thing, once I fulfilled the campaign, I sat down and did that for a week, and just, tons of stuff, dude. It just,
Shauna makes a great point. There is a fine line between multitasking and spreading yourself too thin, because when you're multitasking, you don't realize that you're taking on way too much. And then that's when, it's usually when you have the break that you don't realize, oh, wait, I've been carrying way too much here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always hindsight. Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I think that's 100% true. So I get it, Harry. I get it. The time thing is huge, and trying to find that balance. And then on top of that, me taking on YouTube, doing 3 videos a week, and
it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot,
I keep telling people it's not really like here comes the beginning of the week, a busy week. It's not really working a week. It's like surviving the week. That's what I look at it.
Kinda. God forbid you get sick or something, and then you have to stop for everything, and then trying to catch up. And oh god, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Sometimes life creator though, and I hate too. We were talking about this earlier with JC about how he's very off the grid. I kind of admire that, because being a creator nowadays, you can't be that if you want to get your book out to the audiences.
It's gonna find that happy medium, because during COVID, I was wasn't super busy, I was kind of I wasn't even working. I lost my my job at the time at that place we used to work at, and now I have 2-3 jobs that I'm doing at the same time. Oh my god, it's too much, I gotta find that happy medium.
Yeah, I hear you, man. COVID was relaxing, but it still was busy for me too.
Yeah,
it just that's when things started to amp up actually for me.
Right. It gave birth to the show, actually.
Yeah,
it really did.
Actually did. Yeah, that's when we started. And I'm kind of glad we took it on, and now it's built into my weekly just being now.
Do you guys know what day you guys started? We can have an anniversary special or something.
I'd have to look
every
back.
Week's the anniversary special.
That's what I love. I'd have to look back. I want to say it was a couple months into COVID. I know that.
Yeah.
Maybe about, God, I remember Jay Moore was our first guest. That show was kind of a disaster if I remember right. We had no viewers, and Jay was gracious enough to come on and
I know.
be our first guest with nobody.
Yeah.
I think Amy was the only one watching us.
Jay's always happy to throw himself on the sword. God bless him.
Yeah, and we should have him back now that we actually have an audience.
I know, right? And he's got that game now too. He's got Faye.
Yeah, and it's
quite
another
popular.
thing that fell by the wayside. I was supposed to get together with him and work on a module like that was Mighty Mascots themed. We just haven't gotten together to do it,
That's pretty cool. I'd love to do a Surrounded by Death one. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I should talk to him. I bet he could work something out with you. And then, like, he said something about, like, if you do that, he would take a cut and you would take a cut, for any units sold and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good game, right? So it's like, why not?
Hells yeah.
Try to find out. But all right, gents, you want to end this stream? It's like we've been going an hour and 36 minutes. I mean, it's
might as well wrap it up, right?
Yeah, since we don't have any guests or anything.
We were the guests this week.
Yeah, right. Well, it's too bad because JC seemed like a cool dude.
JC is a cool cat. I'm kind of bummed that we weren't able to get him all the way through the episode. But again, if you happen to see, email him. If you happen to see Path to Damnation, rather, somewhere on a shelf, make sure you pick it up. This book
it looks awesome.
Aces.
Yeah, it looks good, and the artwork did look awesome on it. So
yeah,
I definitely I'll email him tomorrow and see if I can get a copy, and then I'll send him some stuff too.
Yeah.
Maybe we could try for a future date, or something.
I'm sure he'd be happy to come on, and it was probably again technical difficulties happen. It makes sense,
It does,
especially if you're not too inclined with said technology.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So. But all right, yeah. Did you guys have anything you wanted to shout out? Any campaigns or anything?
There's a few I could run through real quick if we want to do.
Yeah,
a speed
actually,
round.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, some guy hit me up. Let me look that up while you're shouting out.
Yeah. So, well, first and foremost, big shout out to Sean Gordon Murphy's Zorro, Man of the Dead graphic novel. That campaign breached $300,000.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Insane. That's just wild. And dude, I know Kevin Rotadelli is part of that massive publishing company that is hosting that book. So
really?
Big shout out to him. From just the convention scene in indie comics and just kind of being in the same circles, So I should hit up Kevin. We should have him on the show. If he may have actually been on the show once before. But I should hit him up again now that
he's
working.
What episode?
A while back, but I'm pretty sure we had him on once before. But so big shout out to that campaign. Wicked awesome that they knocked it out of the park. As far as campaigns that are ending soon, the first one up would be JD Rosario's New York versus the World, issues 1 through 3. That's up on November 11th. You're going to want to check that campaign out. Our good friend Tony James, he's got Star Noir. That's November 17th. Now, that book is almost there for funding. I think they are let's see. Hold on. Let me see here. They are just under $1,000 to fund. Okay. But Tony did say that they have to overperform for this book to be a success. So we're hoping that in those last few days, we can, they can knock it out of the park and they could bring the book and bring the next one after that. Next up, November 17th, also The Fabled Offering. So our good friend Nandor, who was just on last week, his book, make sure you check it out. That's wrapping up on the 17th as well. And last but not least, our other good friend, Trevor Fernandez. He's got a superhero drama called Rise, and that ends on December 4th. And that's issue number 1 that's launching now on Kickstarter. So check all those books out on Kickstarter. Check out Mighty Mascots. Actually, no, the campaign's closed, right?
It's supposed to close today. I haven't gone over there to see if they actually did close it or not. But
okay, so we'll go check on Indiegogo just in case. Last minute, if you need a last minute copy of
exactly.
Mighty Mascots.
if not, it'll be on my website ASAP. So
word.
The one that I got hit up about is a Kickstarter running right now called Ruxy Vampire, Ruxy Vampire. It's a vampire that wakes up in Prohibition era Chicago.
Oh,
and
cool.
gets caught up in the mayhem of the time. It's a vampire-esque, so it's a woman.
Oh, cool.
It looks pretty cool. I just, it's too bad we knew how tonight was going to go. I would have had the guy come on, but
right.
I had
That's,
to
I guess,
turn him
the benefit
away.
of having two guests, right? In case if somebody doesn't show or is unavailable or, has some type of technical issue, then, you have another guest ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. And we're pretty booked up till the end of the year. So I didn't want to rock that boat, so
Yep.
We do have an off week coming up where things kind of slowed down. Right after Thanksgiving, we have the 4th off, so we're back to our bi-weekly schedule then.
Nice.
But I ended up moving I ended up moving things so that we'd have 2 weeks in a row after that. So the 11th and the 18th will be live. But then we have Christmas and New Year's week off. So we'll have 2 weeks off after that.
Cool.
And then we're back to the bi-weekly schedule for starting on January 8th. We'll be back just doing our bi-weekly thing. So
cool.
So things will starting to slow down in the next few weeks. So we'll finally be back to our regular schedule. It just seems this time of year is the worst.
Wait until the new year and new Kickstarters start popping up.
Yeah, but they always seem to be the third quarter of the year where things are the worst, I think,
right, usually
everybody and his brother's doing one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, check out Ruxy Vampire on Kickstarter. That's live right now. It looks pretty cool. I checked it out. It looks like a cool campaign. So yeah, check that out. Harry, did you want to shout anything out to anybody? Or?
Oh no, I think I kind of did earlier with this comic that I'm working on. So hopefully I can live through it, in the next 2 weeks.
I hear you, man.
I don't know.
On.
Yeah, keep us appraised of your progress.
Yep. Oh yeah, well, I mean, I never colored one. I mean, I don't know what the best. I'm afraid to. I was thinking about using gradients, in it to show like light and darkness, but I don't want to get too fancy or whatever. I just want to just color it and add detail and whatever. But I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's. And then like she sent me because I had no idea who was who in each panel. I think I know. Is that the same guy in that one? And he sent me the whole with the lettering, like a rough draft with the lettering, because that would help because I have no idea who was doing what in each panel. So whatever, it should be interesting. It should be
awesome.
Whatever.
All right. Any final words of wisdom before we close out this web stream?
Be kind to one another.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
Read more comics. All right, everybody.
Yep.
We'll be back live next Monday. Join us then. And until then, have a great week and read comics. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.